Kind of has the feeling as the game is progressing that Portland is doing more chasing and Seattle is doing more of the pace setting. And it's all running through Megan Rapinoe. Utsugi, a good little dummy inside. She goes backwards. Crnogorčević stuffs that one and races the other way. Ana Crnogorčević to the middle. Christine Sinclair lays off to Klingenberg. Kling toward the middle. Crnogorčević's header just over the bar. She is a big, tall target in the middle of that box. Gives the thumbs up on a nice service, but another empty promise.
Well, Megan Klingenberg has sent great balls in, whether it's been on set pieces or just out wide. She sends another great ball in. And again, when you have players like Crnogorčević or Lindsey Horan in the box, that's what you want to do. Whip those balls in. Crnogorčević makes good contact, but sends that over the top.
Sonnet ahead. Sinclair quickly sends it forward. This is Midge Purce. Waiting for some help. Ended up being more defenders that came back. Really tough spot for Crnogorčević here. They're ruling it a Portland throw. That almost looked like it grazed off of Ana's left leg. Perhaps a fortuitous break for the visiting side. 83rd minute, still no score as Carpenter launches in her throw. Crnogorčević out of play. If this game finishes in a draw, both teams would have 21 points and would remain 1 point behind second place Orlando. A win for either side would put them into second place, 1 point ahead of Orlando, but still a ways behind North Carolina. Now has 36 points with 11 wins, 1 loss, and 3 draws so far this year. The only blemish on North Carolina's card, they lost to Utah 1-0 a couple weeks back. Look at Carpenter measure up Rapinoe. Trying to force her left. Rapinoe with a good one across, but hit it a little bit wide of where she wanted. It glanced off the post. In the 84th minute, France will send away a goal kick. She has been very busy tonight. And even though technically only 1 shot is on goal, feels like every one of them's got a chance to go in the net. Purce heads it ahead. And now Sinclair with some room to maneuver into the middle. Mark Parsons has no fingernails left. He's been biting them all game. Or so we think. Ellie Carpenter. Ooh, tough collision with Horan and Utsugi. Another throw in. You can see most fans have sleeves or a light jacket on. It's cool. Temperatures in the low 60s. Cloudy night in Seattle, but no rain. As Carpenter throws it into the middle of the box. That looked like a real developing chance. Instead, Jody Taylor helps pull it away. Starting to feel like both sides are sending long balls forward and getting away from the high percentage connecting passes that had developed some chemistry throughout the middle of this game. Perhaps because the game is getting late, starting to take bigger chances. Catley and Rapinoe near side. Megan turns and goes to her right foot. Does she have a crease? Not with Carpenter, but then finds an opening. Oh my goodness gracious! French does it again! Take a bow, A.D. French.
Well, we've seen Megan Rapinoe score almost identical to this earlier in the season. She does a good job of just separating herself with a quick little cutback. But it all started with the overlap with her and Catley, allows her to cut inside. And again, that little cutback, that little feint separates her from Ellie Carpenter. And a good look, but you're exactly right. What a save by A.D. France. She's come up big. She's starting to get her form. As your Portland Thorns team and you're starting to hunt for the playoff spots, exactly what you want is your top goalkeeper back into form, starting to come up big for your team.
Oyster looking for Rapinoe inside the 18. What more does Megan Rapinoe need to do today to try and put one across the line? She's going to keep trying as long as they'll give her chances. Carpenter is giving her no room to breathe. I don't blame her. Utsugi. Back to Megan. Utsugi races after it, but that's pretty well done by Crnogorcevic. We have our first substitution now on the Seattle side. Jasmine Spencer, 13 career goals in the NWSL. Can she provide some late magic? I almost feel like Ellie Carpenter's job became less play left back and more play Megan Rapinoe and don't let her get the ball in space. You could probably argue that's the assignment all game, but especially here of late. Now Taylor looking to cross. It finds Rapinoe. Into the middle, it's right on the doorstep. Seattle scores! Jody Taylor with the dagger in the 90th minute. Finally, Seattle strikes.
Well, when we talk about being more clinical in the final third, this is exactly what we're talking about. Megan Rapinoe's been active all game, takes Ellie Carpenter on again. Just that little hesitation, then she's able to slot it back on the ground. Jody Taylor with just a tap in. This is a fantastic ball, but look at all of the Portland Thorns players. How this isn't cleared, I don't know. And Jody Taylor, with her quality, her ability to score goals, she has to be marked. But this is a fantastic ball, a fantastic goal for Seattle Reign.
Taylor scores her 18th career goal in the NWSL and her 4th of the season, first since May 12th when she scored for the second straight game with a goal against Sky Blue. This game deserves a winner. We are looking at potentially 5 more full minutes here at a minimum. They've officially now pulled that on. It is not over yet. We've had lots of little injuries that have taken a little while in this second half. The goal is officially ruled in the 89th minute, by the way. It was just before the clock struck for the 90th minute. But either way, Jody Taylor You mentioned it. It almost felt like Portland just had a mental lapse as a whole group. Everybody kind of gave up on the play.
Well, it was a great ball across, and it's that little hesitation. It's hard, really subtle. It's difficult to see. It was a slight subtle hesitation by Megan Rapinoe that separated from Ellie Carpenter that allowed her to play that ball back. I don't think Portland Thorns were expecting that to happen. She'd been playing balls in the air all night, whipping balls in, and that little cutback, unpredictable. Jody Taylor there, getting herself in a great position just to slot it home. But now if you're Seattle, get the ball out of bounds, manage this game. You want to waste as much time as possible, and if you're Portland, you've got to keep the ball in. You've got to start launching balls in. Get Sinclair, get Horan, the players that you want on the ball. Get them on the ball as much as possible. See if they can start getting something. There's plenty of time. With 5 minutes of extra time, that's an incredible amount of extra time to be able to slot one back.
Seattle has done a terrific job of mitigating both Christine Sinclair and Lindsey Horan's presence and ability all game long. It feels like they just have never gotten comfortable. Meanwhile, Jody Taylor will deserve the round of applause she gets here. And she is grateful to the fans. Another look at Taylor's goal, which right now could stand as a game winner.
And good. Again, all game long, Megan Rapinoe has been taken on, creating chances out on that left-hand side. And this is just a great cutback. Different than the balls that she'd been serving in the majority of the game. Jody Taylor does what she does best, which is find herself some space in the middle of the goal, and she's able just to slot it in for a tap in.
Zernigorcevic goes up strong with Teresa Nielsen. No foul. Seattle fans nervously with the bobblehead. They're looking at the field and they look up at the clock. Look at the field, look at the clock. How much time is left? Well, a minimum of about 2 minutes.
With this substitution, we're going to see Kleiner move into the midfield, sure things up in there. Megan Rapinoe will move up top along with Jasmine Spencer. Everybody else will be in the midfield, just making sure nothing gets through. Don't give any silly chances away to the Portland Thorns.
When Portland won on this field late last August, head coach Mark Parsons kissed the turf because they hadn't won here since 2013. And while he wouldn't call it a curse, he just feels like this is such a tough place to play. Well, I'm sure he feels a bit snake-bitten late in this game. Seattle seems to match up well with Portland, and they are on the verge of taking the all-time series lead for the first time ever. But Portland is not done yet. Franch with a good long kick. This isn't over. Zernigorcevic pressuring Williams, who grabs it cleanly. Seattle Reign FC playing their third match in 8 days, and no doubt this one the most emotional. And Jody Taylor's goal in the 89th minute right now stands as the game winner. Can Portland stun Seattle late? Portland perhaps down to its final push. Klingenberg. Horan. There's the final whistle. Seattle Reign as persistent as they've been all season long. And maybe this is the win they can finally hang their hat on. 1-0, a fabulous result at home.
And you can see the excitement without getting a win the past 3 games. This is a massive win for them. A good solid performance at home, especially against their rival. And they know this is huge 3 points to come away with, especially leading into the second part of the season.
Two wins over Sky Blue, 2 wins against, or I should say, 3 wins over Sky Blue. Now 2 wins against Portland and a win over Washington. The 6 victories on the season for Seattle Reign FC. And for a team that is, again, still trying to really establish their identity, a win like this with these kind of emotions can do a lot for your confidence as you try to make a push for the playoffs. So Seattle with 23 points. They are the new second-place team in the league behind North Carolina. Portland is still in playoff positioning, but they are alone in 4th at the end of this one. We'll wrap it up when we come back to Seattle.